The chairman of the National Population Commission says there will be no census exercise in 2018. The chairman stated this on Thursday at the commencement of field work for the continuation of the enumeration area demarcation.
Some people keep asking whether there will be census this year. There will be no census this year. Because if there will be census this year, we will not be talking about 87 local governments. We should be talking about 600 or 700 local governments. So on the basis of that alone, there can be no census this year. Whether census will hold in the next 10 years, or the preparation must start now.
The state houses of assembly are asking for the introduction of devolution of powers in the next round of constitution amendment. Speaking on Thursday when lawmakers from state assemblies visited the National Assembly, the chairman of the Conference of Speakers of State Houses of Assembly, Honorable Abdulmumin Kamba, appealed to the federal lawmakers to reconsider their decision on the devolution of powers.
Your Excellencies, on behalf of the constituents, we want to plead that the bill on devolution of powers be reconsidered and form part of the next proposed amendments to the Constitution.
Welcome back. The influx of unregistered commercial motorbikes into some of the satellite towns in the nation's capital is raising concerns among residents. This week's episode of FCT in Focus looks at the threats posed on these commercial motorcycles, also known as Okada. Take a listen.
Motorbikes, popularly called Okada, and taxis are major means of transportation in Abuja. While the taxis can operate anywhere within the Federal Capital Territory, motorbikes are restricted to the satellite towns. A rising trend recently, however, are cases of taxis and motorbikes plying the route without registration numbers, which ought to be the first means of identification.
They never asked for plate number for legal area before. Nobody asked for. If they say we should do plate number, we should do it. Because every these lots of things, they never did for plate number before.
We don't have plate number. We don't have plate number. So the government, they don't want to this work. If they want this work, we go buy the plate number. If the government needs. So the government never involved this work. If they involve this work, we will continue to accept anything that she come to us.
I don't know if the government you want me to do, and you go do. So government you know challenges say come do plan number. If you challenge do plan number, you go do it now.
The absence of such registration numbers have often left passengers who are victims of robbery in taxis, also called one chance, not being able to identify their assailants. It's a situation the police are promising to address.
It doesn't only constitute a security threat, but in fact it is an offense to drive a vehicle or ride a motorcycle without registration number. That in itself is an offense. And it is unfortunate that the law enforcement agencies are not doing enough to enforce such laws. On the part of the police in FCT here, with me at the helm of affairs, I think we shall start taking action on that. In fact, I am the chairman of the Ministerial Joint Task Force on the enforcement of such rules, and the task force has been reinvigorated. Maybe if you might have been listening to jingles, that we shall soon commence our operation. I think maybe in about a week or so, we'll commence operation that will cover many aspects of what constitute nuisance and crimes within the FCT in order to sanitize the city, to make it just a city comparable to anywhere in the world. So it is unfortunate that is happening. I must agree with you, yes, it is going on. And there's actually lapse on our own side. Even though I know there are so many agencies now that are there, so you won't know who is to do what. That may be the reason that brought about this confusion. But on our own part, the Nigeria police, and also try to synergize with others and ensure that we enforce law and orders within the FCT.
Although officials of government agencies responsible for the enforcement of the law or registration numbers agree that it is illegal for taxis and motorbikes to be unregistered, the prosecution of this legislation is very weak.
It's it has been very cumbersome. It can be very complex, attacking the menace of motorbikes because of the influx, because of their nature. If you have to do that, you will need a lot of, let's say, trucks to impound such bikes. And again, you will need security agents to back us up. And where we are planning is a thing of concern to us, and will not relent until they are all brought to book and made to buy such plates. It's illegal and it's very wrong. In fact, we have a particular offense that is dedicated to such. That is plate number violation. That is to say that for a vehicle not to be registered or not to flag a number plate is illegal. And from the security point of view, like you rightly said, it could be used to commit an offense and they will not be able to trace them. And we're equally trying to collaborate with the authority of the Vehicle Inspection Office and Motor Licensing Authority to make sure that we have a joint operations to make sure that all vehicles with that plate number are impounded, and until such vehicles are fixed with number plates, they will not be released.
From the city centre to the satellite towns, there is a growing number of taxis as well as motorbikes without registration numbers. And with the rising security concern this has raised, it appears the authorities have a lot to do. Till then, commuters will have to be extra careful as they move around the capital city of Abuja.